It was a sunny afternoon when Karen, in her typical audacious style, called 911, insisting that I was illegally parking on my own ranch. According to her, HOA regulations somehow gave her the right to dictate where I could and could not park. What she didn't realize was that my son had recently been sworn in as the county sheriff, and he happened to be monitoring the property that very day. Karen strutted onto the driveway, pointing at my vehicles. "You can't park here. This is restricted by HOA rules." I calmly set my keys down and activated the ranch's surveillance system, which sent live footage directly to my phone and the local sheriff's office. "Karen," I said, "this is private property. You are trespassing, and any attempt to enforce HOA rules here is illegal." Her response was a nervous laugh. "I've already called 911. Let's see what they say." She didn't know that the sheriff who responded would be my son. Within minutes, a marked sheriff's vehicle arrived at the property. Karen puffed herself up, confident that the law would side with her. The sheriff stepped out, scanning the scene. "Ma'am, who are you and why are you on this property?" Karen tried to assert authority. "I'm enforcing HOA regulations. These vehicles are improperly parked." The sheriff's eyes narrowed as he looked at me. "She's trespassing on private property." Karen stepped back. "You have no authority here. This is an official warning. Leave immediately." Karen's jaw dropped. She hadn't anticipated the sheriff to be family, and certainly not the legal authority over her antics. I documented every moment, ensuring that cameras captured her reaction, her attempts to argue, and her eventual compliance. Karen fumed as deputies walked her to the edge of the property, still insisting that she had legal standing to enforce rules. The sheriff, however, made it clear that any future attempts would result in arrest for trespassing and interference with law enforcement activities. The neighbors who had witnessed the confrontation were stunned. Karen, who had consistently tried to assert authority over my property, had completely miscalculated. She was humiliated in front of the community, her reputation irreparably damaged, and the HOA had to formally revoke her enforcement privileges. Meanwhile, my vehicles remained parked exactly where they belonged. The property was fully secure, and the sheriff, my son, ensured that no further harassment would occur. Karen's attempt to intimidate me had backfired spectacularly, showing the perils of assuming HOA rules trump private property rights and law enforcement authority. Karen had thought calling 911 over my parking would intimidate me and assert HOA control. Instead, she triggered law enforcement involvement, public humiliation, and permanent revocation of authority, all while my vehicles and property remained fully secure under the watch of the sheriff. Karen called 911 on me for parking at my own ranch. Instead, she faced legal scrutiny, public embarrassment, and permanent loss of HOA enforcement privileges, proving once again that rogue HOA members cannot override private property or law enforcement without consequences.